I've gone through the injury process enough times at this point, and not really knowing what it was about and everything, that going into this one, I try to embrace it in a slightly different way. Normally, I always am kind of taking the idea, or like I strongly believe that any injury or any obstacle that you have to overcome is really just an opportunity to become better. And I still believe that fully through this injury, and I'm really excited. But I just, with getting injured at the race that I love the most on the entire schedule at Alcatraz, and having this pretty emotional build up to that, not knowing if my foot was going to hold up, and then breaking the foot and everything, I really needed to just take a week and do some stuff like that. And you go, you know what? I can't go to the gym right now and fix anything about this. So might as well seize the moment, do some stuff that I've wanted to do, and really just, immerse myself in that moment. And then when the time comes that I can actually do something about it, then take action. Otherwise, just like sitting around and worrying and being upset about something, that doesn't accomplish anything. So. In the climate of social media right now, and professional athletes as a business that they're trying to grow and get a bigger following and everything, you tend to filter out anything that you think might not be popular, right? That people might not, every time I put out a picture of me smiling and happy and crossing the finish line holding a tape, it gets 1,000 likes. And if I post a picture of myself in a dark room looking upset, it gets 300 likes. So you tend to cut out all those real moments that are actually a super important part of the process, and you get this, you get this unrealistic look at what this is actually like, and that really that bugs me, because I think you're exactly right. Everybody in the world really actually goes through all these hard times, and if we're constantly just pretending like they don't exist, every single person is looking around going well, why isn't my life amazing at every single moment? I think it is. I guess I'll just post some fake picture of me being way happier than I am, even though I'm injured and I can't do anything, So by telling this continuous story and everything, and I think you allow people to come along on that journey, and when you do ultimately hit a big one and do really well, it means something. It's not just, oh, well, Eric did really well in 3 months ago, and then we didn't hear from him, and then he did really well again. Weird. I wonder why he did. I wonder where he was in between. Whatever. Invited us to go do the local triathlon and kind of gave us the link to register for it. So I went out and did it, and I didn't do well at all. I think I got second in my age group, which is saying a lot for a local triathlon and stuff. And it was a sprint. I think my time was 1 hour and 31 minutes or something, but the energy of everybody there just totally sucked me in with the positivity, and that I was my first one, and so many people were so positive and excited. It was really intoxicating, or addicting to me, coming from a little bit of a contrast in the swimming world, where there were parents yelling at their kids on deck because they didn't get a best time or something like that. And so anyway, I just kind of kept coming back for more, and it really grew organically for me. I think, talent's kind of a tricky word and everything. And I think a lot of people like to say that they weren't talented and they were, a hard worker and stuff. But, nothing ever came easy. Like I said, I'm not the guy who went to the first triathlon and won it. I was miles back. I think it was 4 years before I ever won a triathlon overall, when I was 16 or 17. And then I went to my first whatever they call it, junior nationals. And I got 10th or 12th out of 16 kids at my first draft legal thing. And so I didn't do another one of those for several years. I was never any good at running. My 5K PR in high school was 17:16. So I would in no way say that any of this kind of came quickly or easily, but I do think if I had a talent, it would just be for the kind of the way that I approach a lot of things, with applying myself 100%. It's in almost a maniacal way, and really it borders on obsessive for sure. When I'm really excited about something, I can just throw myself into it so hard, I can't think about anything else. And I think that's what's allowed me to excel in triathlon is kind of like that level of focus and intensity over time. Great power comes great responsibility or something, but I suck at the responsibility side. I really am not good at pacing myself. When I get into a new book, or when I get into a new sport or a new hobby or something, like, it's really, really hard for me to say, okay, just do 2 hours of it a day. No, it's just like, I'll forget to eat dinner. I'll just be editing a video until 1 a.m. without even realizing it. And just, it's been really great, the periods of time where have to be at my parents' house, or when, I'm with Paula and this, they can actually say, hey, you need to chill. You need to stop for a second and snap me out of that zone. The word balance, it doesn't sound like nothing's moving, right? Everything's kind of staying the same. Yeah, you have to really upset balance to have movement, like in any direction or another. And I think it's a word that gets thrown around, right? And you say, oh, I needed to be a little bit more balanced, and it's saying, well, I was 99% over here, and I had 1% of other things in my life, and I got more balanced by bumping it to 80-20 or something. We're not talking about, oh, you just look like, when people look at an elite athlete or a triathlete, or someone who's doing something great, it is not a life of balance. There's an extremity in some places, and I think that's the nature of achieving at a really high level. Yeah, totally. That kind of goes back to the adrenaline junkie mindset for me. There's so much happening. You're so stimulated. You have to be pretty much completely in flow to win in an environment like that. If nothing is ever going to go exactly the way that you planned it, because there's so many elements and everything. So you just have to be able to adapt to whatever comes up. And I love that fast paced, just react, let your body and your muscle memory, whatever. So I emailed Paulo, kind of saying, hey, I'm looking for a training group or something, and blah, blah, blah. I'm not working with my old coach, and I want to take things to the next level. And I got an automated response from him. It's like, I will be accepting applications for my triathlon squad in December 2018, as I have every year in the blah, 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 Paulo. And I was like, screw this guy. He can't even freaking send an actual response to my email, whatever. So that was the first interaction I had with him. Rejection. The biggest thing about working with the triathlon squad is your attitude. Like, nobody who's just super duper talented but is a complete jerk, or it doesn't have some degree of humility, isn't going to make it, isn't going to be accepted or whatever. Like, the entire core principle of the group is that you just show up every single day and you work hard. And it's that simple. It's not, oh, I don't need to work as hard because I'm better or this, or you just, it's just like, check your ego at the door, just show up. Everybody's trying to get better than they currently are. And if you're fully bought into that, the results, prior results, are kind of secondary. No, it was a really hard time, because I had kind of mentally shifted gears back into, okay, I'm going to have to do some ITU racing. I'm going to go for the Olympics. I realized that I have a chance now, and I'd gotten mentally, emotionally attached to that. So when it didn't end up happening, I definitely took a big chunk of time where I just kind of sorted through feelings, tried to decide what I wanted to do, and I ultimately didn't end up making this move to 70.3 for another 2 years. I kind of kept doing ITU because I had this sense of unfinished business, and it's hard to let go of. It's a really addicting style of racing, and the culture around it when you're at a WTS race, it's the show. Mm-hmm. It is a big freaking deal. Like, these big cities shut down so that you can race. There's TV cameras everywhere. It's, it feels as professional as our sport feels. And the things that I've seen, I haven't been to 70.3 Worlds. I haven't been to Kona, but of the things I've seen, it's just on another level of